We've already discussed that infinite geometric series will approach a limit. Limits to polynomials can be easily found. It says find the limit of each expression. So find the limit as n approaches infinity of the expression 3n plus 1 over n minus 3. Now, n is approaching infinity, which means n is going to get very large. And let's say n is 10,000, for example. 3 times 10,000 plus 1 divided by 10,000 minus 3. And when I calculate that, you can see this number is getting very, very close to 3. It's not quite 3, but it's close to 3. Now, n is approaching infinity, so let's say I keyed in 1,000,000 for n instead. And when we do that, it's even closer to 3. So what happens is, when we start talking in terms of infinity here, this part really doesn't have much bearing at all. And this is going to simplify or reduce to whatever your highest exponent of n is. 3n over n would reduce to 3. So our limit as n approaches infinity is 3. In the same way, this 2 isn't going to have much bearing when I'm talking about really large numbers like infinity, and this will reduce to essentially 4n over 4, where its limit will head to 4. So it's really just the highest exponent that we care about, even in this situation. And so it'll reduce to essentially n squared over n squared, which is 1. So as we head towards infinity, its limit would go to 1. So this will head towards to whatever 4n squared over 3n reduces to. And this is where we look and we see that basically it's 4n over 3, or 4 infinities over 3. This is going to be unbounded. So there is no limit. It will keep going on up towards infinity. Now we look at this one, and again, it's really just the highest exponent that matters. But I look at this. What is this going to do? Well, when n is even, -1 to an even is a positive 1. So that's going to become 1 times n to the 4th over 2n to the 4th, or reduced to 1/2. So if n is even, it goes to 1/2. But if n is odd, I get -1 to an odd power, which is a -1 times n to the 4th over 2n to the 4th. So if n is odd, it goes towards -1/2. So it's really converging to two different values depending on if the exponent is even or